What's up, Knicks fans? We are so excited to announce that this summer, Fanatics Fest is returning to New York City, taking over the Javits Center from Thursday, July 16th to Sunday, July 19th. Meet your favorite athletes from every major league, including current New York Knicks like Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Knicks legend Patrick Ewing. Catch live podcasts and panels featuring some of the biggest names in sports while experiencing interactive activations from top leagues and brands. You can grab exclusive merch and discover one-of-a-kind memorabilia from sports and entertainment. Buy, sell, and trade collectibles with hundreds of top dealers. Connect with fans around the world who share your passion for sports. Tickets are on sale now at fanaticsfest.com. And when you use promo code KnicksFilm10 at checkout, you'll get 10% off your purchase. It's an extra day of the world's #1 sports fan festival coming together under one roof, and you don't want to miss it.
Alrighty, welcome to the Knicks Film School Postgame Show presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. It is Friday night, which means it is FANCASH chat of the night Friday. We will, of course, be giving away $25 in FANCASH to one lucky chatter during the evening, which is going to start with me. Then Andrew Claudio is going to pop in here for a few minutes, and then I'm going to finish things up. And what kind of a game is this that we're here to talk about? Well, it's a win for starters, so that's good. There's no such thing as a win that the Knicks do nowadays that isn't good. 127-98 final score. I'm trying to – it's funny. The end of this game – so actually, let me take everybody behind the scenes for a second. The original plan, because it was an 8 o'clock start, was to start this postgame late. And get it going after I do a spot a little bit later for SNY. And then the game finished up so fast, and garbage time kind of, not that it snuck up on us, but it was oh wow, this game we could really start the post game right now. And so I usually take a little while to gather my thoughts before I hop on here, and I did not do that, as you may or may not be able to tell. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out in real time what is the biggest takeaway from this game? And I think the honest truth is that the biggest takeaway from the game is that Milwaukee stinks, despite the fact that they have won 8 out of 10 games. I think you saw tonight why they've won 8 out of 10 games. They have, even without Giannis Antetokounmpo, a lot of guys, a lot of, I will say, offensively adept players on their roster that, they usually put out 5 guys who could hit a 3, give or take a Jericho Sims, once a Nick, always a Nick, Jericho Sims. And for a while tonight, it looked like this was going to be a very different type of a game because the Bucks started out 6 of 8 from 3, and the Knicks, as they want to do, were putzing around a little bit. I think they actually started out down 8-2 out of the gate in this game, and they had this defensive game plan. The Bucks did of, we're just going to not even remotely guard Josh Hart, which I actually thought, despite the fact that Josh Hart scored, I think it was 11 of their first 12 points or 12 of the first 13 points, whatever it was, 9 of their first 10, something. He scored a bunch of points out of the gate, 12 early points, and then I don't know if he even scored again for the rest of the game. I thought it was kind of working. Because I thought it was kind of stifling the Knicks offense a little bit. At the same time, when you see a defense go to a gimmick like that, and I am going to call that a gimmick defense, there's usually a reason for it. And the reason in Milwaukee's case is that, again, Milwaukee stinks. None of their guys could defend. And pretty soon the Knicks were like, why are we playing into this? And Jalen Brunson just decided to take over the game. And I thought basically by the end of the first quarter, that's unfair. but within a couple minutes of the second quarter, this thing was over. And I guess on the Knicks end, we could start with Brunson. You're going to look at his stat line. This is going to be one of those games where it'll be the end of the season, or it'll be over the summer, it'll be next year or whatever, and we're looking back on the game log for this season. I'll be like, oh, what was that game in Milwaukee? Late February. Brunson, 27 points, 11 of 17 shooting. Yeah, I really don't remember that game at all. And you're going to forget that Jalen Brunson basically, reminded everybody that he's one of the handful of the best isolation scorers in the sport for a solid 6 or 7 minutes, starting out 9 of 10 from the field, 22 points in the first quarter. And then he didn't really need to do much else for the rest of the game. Had a couple other shots, didn't go in. But I thought, as far as making sure that this game was not something that it shouldn't be, which is a competitive basketball game, if I am doling out credit for that specifically, I'm going to give Jalen Brunson credit first. He is not the only person that should get credit tonight. And I think we could kind of run through the laundry list. And I'm going to do it in chronological order. So I talked about Hart already. Like I said, I actually thought that defense was kind of working, even though Hart hit some shots. We could talk more about what happens when better defenses attempt to do that strategy, because I don't think we've seen it as blatantly this year as we saw it tonight. And I think it is the sort of thing that can kind of, obviously Cleveland did it the other night, but it's not something we've seen as blatantly as this game and the last game. So what are some things the Knicks could do to counter that? I think that's an interesting talking point coming out of this game. What could they do to counter it other than just taking Josh Hart off the court, which is not a crazy option, against some opponents. But also he's still one of your guys, and he helps you do a lot of things. And by the way, he could also hit shots and help you in that way. So Hart started it off. Brunson picked up the baton from there. And then the guy I think that deserves the next bit of praise is actually Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, Cat did not finish this night with an efficient shooting performance. He was 6 of 13 from the field. He did get to the line 4 times, made all 4, finished with 17 points. Of course, kills my Fanatics best bet tonight. But that's fine. We won't hit on him for that. And I thought as the night went on, Cat, as has been the case in a lot of games this season, just missed a lot of shots that he would normally make. I thought he started off really well. I thought his process in this game was really good, save for a couple of the last shot attempts he took. There was one drive that was kind of out of control, and it was another turnover that he committed late that I didn't love. But overall, I thought Cat started off well, and I actually was really encouraged by his first half. And I'm not going to put a lot of weight on what he did after halftime, because I thought when the game was still kind of a game, I was actually really impressed by Cat. So he's the next guy. And then the third guy in line that we have to talk about is, actually, I don't know who's third. Yeah, or fourth, rather. Sorry, because we talked about Hart, talked about Brunson, talked about Cat. Let's go to Shamet next. Let's save OG for last. So, again, you're going to look at the stat line in the game, and you'll be like, all right, Shamet had 15 points in 23 minutes. Nothing that crazy. I keep talking this year about the Mike Brown circle of trust and how interesting I find that concept to be. Because, and Fred alluded to it when he was on the pod. When did Fred come on? Did he come on? He came on a few days ago. He alluded to it when he talked about how when Deuce comes back, he's going to be interested to see what Mike Brown winds up doing. The implication being that there are now not enough minutes to go around. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And I think that'll kind of work itself out. But the one thing that I cannot fathom in any world this season, at least, as long as Mike Brown's the coach, is that Landry Shamet is going to be marginalized. Nor should he. So I thought, again, if this is one of those games where you forget how they got to the whatever it was, a 29-point win. But Milwaukee, for most of the first half, or really the whole first half, they were not going away. And the Knicks, their defense tonight, look, they gave up 98 points to a team that had won 8 of 10 games. So, like, you cannot say that their defense was poor. I thought there were some possessions that, like, Milwaukee got a little bit, considering they do not have a Giannis Antetokounmpo on the floor right now. There were a couple of possessions where I think they got threes a little bit too easily. Now, were they hitting for a lot of this game, like all of the open threes that they took? Yes. Were they hitting some absurd threes? The Kyle Kuzma 35-footer, or whatever the hell it was one of the craziest threes I think anyone has hit against the Knicks this year. But my point is not to disparage the Knicks defense, which was good tonight. It wasn't great. It was good. As Detroit polishes off their crazy victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I think if you're a Knicks fan, you got to be happy about. I don't know if there's any Knicks fans that are still thinking it's realistic to get the 1 seed. I'm certainly not. So happy Cleveland lost tonight. We could talk about that game later if you want. Anyway, back to Shamet. So Milwaukee keeps making pushes. And it felt like so many of the Shamet threes, if not all of the Shamet threes, came when, like, right after the Bucks had hit a 3 or had hit a shot or something. And he really does have ice water in his veins. And, I'm not trying to make a conversation tonight out of something that doesn't need to have a conversation made out of it. But, I did think it was interesting that as you're getting down to halftime, it's Shamet closing essentially in place of Mikal Bridges. Now, Bridges, I think, came on the floor for the last few seconds of the first half after OG got his third foul. But Mike Brown continues to trust Landry Shamet, and I have no issue with that. Now, Mikal Bridges, I thought, ended up playing a really nice game. Thought he did a good job defensively. As they were kind of putting the final nails in the coffin, late third, early fourth quarter, Mikal hit those, couple of buckets there. So, like, Mikal had a good game. And look, there's obviously room for both of those guys. They need both of them. They're both incredibly important players for the team. But it's just really interesting to me that, you look at the box score tonight, and obviously the starters' numbers are so low because none of them had to play the last 6 minutes of the game. But you got Mikal Bridges 26 minutes, Landry Shamet 23 minutes. I'm always going to be interested to watch those two guys and who's on the floor when, and who's playing what minutes. I saved the best for last. OG Anunoby. So OG has been in, I don't know, should we call it, is it a hellacious slump? I don't know if I would quite call it since he has come back from injury. His game logs: 3 of 13, 1 of 8 from 3, 8 of 16 against Houston. That was good. 2 of 7 from 3, though. That's not as good. 4 of 11 against Chicago. 0 of 4 from 3. Not good. 2 of 9 against the Cavs. 1 of 6 from 3. So OG Anunoby has hit 4 3 before tonight. Hit 4 3-pointers total in the 4 games he has played since coming back from injury on 25 attempts. So, yeah, I would say 4 for 25. That's pretty hellacious. And sure enough, tonight, OG Anunoby hits more threes than he has in the previous 4 games combined on 7 attempts, going 5 for 7. And if we are going to do any kind of a big picture thing coming off of tonight, like what matters the most tonight moving forward, I would say OG Anunoby hopefully getting right, is the biggest thing. And, for anybody who's like, it's one game, we know how OG works. We know oftentimes it is one game that gets him going, and he just takes the baton and he keeps running with it. Now, we got a long way to go before the playoffs start, so to expect that he's going to maintain, a hot streak for the next essentially 2 months, hopefully more, obviously, depending on how deep they go into the playoffs. That's a lot to ask, but look, and then this is it, this is why, for as much as people are maybe down about the Cavs game or Obviously, he's, down about the Pistons game or anything like that. We can't take any of these wins for granted. So I just mentioned before that Cleveland lost the game. I hate, capital H, hate, that I have to sit here and watch the standings for the rest of this season with the mindset of, oh, we really got to stay out of the fourth spot because we got to avoid the Pistons in the second round. I hate that I have to do that, because it is a, I don't want to call it loser mentality, because, like, look, matchups are matchups, and the Pistons may just be a bad matchup. I hate even saying that. Like, it's the fucking Pistons. You're the Knicks. You should kick the shit out of them. But obviously, that's apparently not the reality we live in. So I guess I do have to do the thing that I hate and standings watch for the rest of the year. And the fact that they got this win on a night that Cleveland lost, it matters a lot. And they got to keep racking up the wins and going. The reason why I started talking about the standings and standings watching is because OG Anunoby continues to be more than Towns, more than Hart, more than Bridges, more than anybody, more than Mitch. But Mitch, I should say, Mitch played a really nice game tonight. It was a quiet, nice game, but I thought he played a really nice game. More than anybody, OG is the bellwether for this team. If OG is playing great, the Knicks are probably winning a lot of basketball games. If OG is not playing well, it becomes a lot more challenging for them to win basketball games, almost regardless of who they're playing. So, again, big picture thing for me tonight, OG getting going. Hopefully that could continue, because if he can be full blast OG Anunoby, then all of a sudden the next handful of games for the Knicks, and I know they showed the schedule up on MSG before the end of the broadcast, all of a sudden those next 5 look, I don't want to say manageable, but it doesn't feel like you're taking your life in your hands so go through it. Obviously this Sunday we got our watch party. We'll promo that in a bit, but Penn 6, it's a day game. Actually, no, I have it right here. Oh, sorry. That's not the watch party. The watch party is next Sunday. I'm sorry. I fucked up. The watch party is not this Sunday. The watch party is next Sunday. Don't come to Penn. Go to Penn 6 because it's great. It's a great bar. But don't go to Penn 6 this Sunday expecting a watch party. The watch party is next Sunday. We'll get to that in a second. But this Sunday is the Spurs game. And that Spurs have obviously won a billion games in a row. Then you got Toronto on the road in Toronto. I have a feeling it's going to be a tough game. And then back-to-back, you're coming back home. You're traveling, but at least you're traveling back home. Face Oklahoma City. OKC, enough said. Then you're going on the road to Denver. And then you finish off this 8-day stretch with a game against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Now, the Lakers are dealing with their own stuff right now. And, they are, I would say, they probably have the cake for the most maddening team in the league, most maddening good team in the league, most unlikable good team in the league, if you want to go there. But even so, it's Luka, it's LeBron, it's Reeves, it's the whole thing. And then, by the way, you do have to stay in LA on a back-to-back and face the Clippers the next night. And if Kawhi's playing in that game, that's going to be a tough game too. So really, you could look at it as the next 6 games. If OG is playing like this, and really, I mean, everybody else more or less plays like they did tonight, it should be a good stretch. What's a good stretch? Is a good stretch 4-2. I don't know about everybody else. I would certainly sign for 4-2 for the next 6 games. But you certainly don't want to go any worse than 3-3. So that's the biggest thing. Trying to think what else there is to take away from tonight, other than, again, the Bucks are not very good. I don't really have much. Last thing, and then I'll get Andrew up here, so I can go look somewhat decent. Mohamed Diawara, kind of lost his rotation spot. Not kind of lost his rotation spot. Did lose his rotation spot. after they got Jeremy Sohan. I don't want to sit here and predict that the Jeremy Sohan experiment is like fully over. I think that would be somewhat presumptuous. That said, it's like he gave it a shot for 4 straight games. Detroit, Houston, Chicago, Cleveland. Other than a couple of possessions guarding Cade Cunningham against the Pistons, nothing about the Jeremy Sohan experience has been good. I'm actually, if it is over already, I'd actually be a little surprised after 4 games. Like if Jeremy Sohan was relegated to garbage time minutes from here on in, I know no one would mind. I wouldn't mind. I would just personally be surprised if that was what actually happened. But we'll see. It's possible Mike Brown thought that like he could throw him in and it would go better. And the fact that it has gone so poorly, Brown's going to be like, no, we need to do some more stuff behind the scenes to, make him more comfortable in those minutes, whatever it is. The Knicks are a better basketball team right now. And Diawara, I know he hit some shots, but like, it's not even that the Diawara had a great night or whatever, but like the Knicks are just a better basketball team right now. If you put a guy with Diawara's skill set on the floor over a guy with Sohan's skill set on the floor, or lack thereof, if you will. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else from the game. Let me pull Andrew Claudio up here. He's usually good about highlighting stuff that I may have missed. Nice game from Jose Alvarado. That's good. Fun to see Tyler Kolek get in the state of Wisconsin in garbage time. He hit a 3, so that's good. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else. If I miss something, Andrew will fill in the gap while I'm taking a little bit of a reprieve. But before we get to Andrew, why don't we do Kev? Why don't we do our best bets for tonight, and then we'll I'll skedaddle after that. I saw them up here. Now I don't see them. Where do they go? Here we go. Hi, Kev. How you doing? You're just smiling. I'm going to mute you. Okay. So these are our best bets for tonight, presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. What you're looking at, if you're watching on the YouTube, is a lot of green. Yes, it's a lot of green. That is because for the first time in a little while, your boys at Knicks Film School hit their parlay. We went 3 for 3. Andrew Claudio took the Jalen Brunson points over, which, how funny was this, that Andrew Claudio had, not that he had to sweat this one out because Brunson got, I think, his 26th and 27th points in the third quarter. But after 22 points in the first quarter for Jalen Brunson to finish with 27 when his over-under was 26.5, you really can't write this shit. Sean had the easiest night of the night because he took Cat over 10.5 rebounds. Cat ended up with 13. He was gobbling up rebounds all night long. So that's great. And then, wait a minute, what happened here? We got a no. This is what was this? That wasn't Mentz's bet, I don't think. Kev, I think we need to put this down. So Mitchell Robinson did not get 8 or more rebounds tonight. So we have a. I think I need to eat my words, but I don't think that was Mentz's bet. I think Mentz's bet was something else. Kev's just staring at me. You have no idea. Okay.
Yeah, I have no clue.
We're going to look at
no clue
because I don't think this was Mentz's bet. I think there was a different bet for Mentz, and I'm pretty sure it was a Kyle Kuzma. Rebounds over under. The thing is, I'm not sure what the actual number was. Kyle Kuzma ended up with 4 rebounds. So we're going to look into this. I'm going to slap this on Andrew Claudio, who is coming up here in a second. But in any case, yeah, we'll get back to our best bets in a moment. Technical difficulties. Excuse me for that. Anyway. All right. Well, I don't know where Andrew is, but he'll be here shortly. Kev, do you want to put up the first super chat so I can at least get things started, and then Andrew can pop in? All right. We got Huck Frazier starting us up. Oh, wait, no, here's Andrew. Okay, hold on. Now I get to dump this off on Andrew. Where is he? He's coming.
I'm here now. Hi. I know you have to run. Okay.
I do. And
Did you read the text?
What?
Did you read the text?
No, I didn't.
Nobody reads their text. Goodness. Okay.
So you're going to figure out the best bets thing.
Yes. The fine folks, I'm not blaming Fanatics. I messed up. Okay.
All right. I'm going to let you handle it, and I'm going to go
You handle this. Okay. Do the super chat. Are you jumping off? What did he say, Kev?
Yeah, he's running to do his.
He's A-Block Macri tonight. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, folks. We're this is what we call live producing. I'm as effective tonight as the Cavaliers were trying to protect an 8-point lead with 1.5 minutes left.
Hey,
that was an interesting collapse to the end of that game. Oh, it's just two of us. What's happening? Huck Frazier, we'll get to your super chat in a second, okay? I apologize, everybody. So here's what happened with the super chats is that just not a super chat. Here's what happened with the best bets is that the wrong things were entered. We're going to get the correct graphic up on screen and celebrate what happened tonight. And it's that the Knicks Film School betting and sweating crew went 3 for 3. It's one of those moments where you celebrate a near 30-point win and you celebrate a 3 for 3 night. So without further ado, Kev Words.
What's up?
We present to everybody the actual best bets for tonight.
Which
were, okay, I picked Jalen Brunson over 26.5 points. It hit. Sean picked Kyle Kuzma under 4.5 rebounds.
That's a fun one.
And then Mensa, who is just killing it with best bets this year. He's 22-15. Tail Mensa. Now, what's funny is you should fade Mensa when he does his betting and sweating picks because he's in last place there. But when he does his best bets, you tail Mensa, okay? That is what you should do. Karl Anthony Towns over 10.5 rebounds. I should say only one of these, my Brunson pick, had hit going into the fourth quarter, okay? Then Kyle Kuzma was sitting on 4 rebounds the entire time. We were all staring at it like, how is he going to get his 5th rebound? The last rebound Karl Anthony Towns got was a ball that came off the rim and was headed right toward Kyle Kuzma, and Cat stole it from him. And the Knicks end up the next possession, Cat hits the 3 to make it a 32-point game, and then some hockey shifts were made, and Knicks Film School goes 3 for 3 tonight. Okay, that is betting and sweating. So I'm assuming you guys also didn't do the other thing that I texted you about.
That's a no. Text me about.
I said to plug the watch party.
Yeah, we did. Well, we did, but then he was
didn't.
Like, oh, it's not this Sunday.
No, it's next Sunday, but still, everybody should go to Brunchin' with Brunson on March 8th. You can RSVP now, and you could make sure you get your spots because the first 25 people that show up that have RSVP'd will be getting a free Nutra bucket. A $50 bottomless brunch from 2:30 to 4 p.m. is available to you. If you just want to show up and hang out with the crew at the bar, you absolutely can. We are deciding now who can and cannot go at the moment, so there's a potential that a lot of your favorite KFS people will be in attendance, but mark your calendars, March 8th at 2:30 when the Knicks take on the Los Angeles Lakers. It's next Sunday is what we're looking at. Next Sunday when the Knicks take on the Lakers. Brunchin' with Brunson at Penn 6 in Midtown, just walking distance from Penn Station and, of course, Madison Square Garden. Okay.
There you go.
Good win. Good win tonight, both from Knicks Film School and, of course, from the New York Knicks tonight. Okay, I'll take some super chats. Actually, Kev, looks like you're going to take some super chats. No. Okay, I'll take some super chats, Kev.
Go ahead. All right, hold on.
Huck Frazier. Apologies for the delay. Oh, you're also the first person, so I didn't miss all the super chats. Huck Frazier Sohan is the purest minus 33 that we will have the opportunity to see play in the NBA in our lifetime. So I saw your chat come in the first half, or it was early in the game. Huck Frazier. I don't know if this is actually what Sohan is for the year as a Knick, or if this is a reference to something that I don't understand, or if this is just something else. But I was very happy to not see Jeremy Sohan until garbage time tonight. As many a person has probably heard me say, I was not moved by the signing of Jeremy Sohan the way many people in our audience were. And if they have officially reconsidered and gone back to Mohamed Diawara, I thought Diawara played very well tonight. Even when he wasn't shooting well in the first half, I thought he was defending very well. And in the second half, he started shooting well, played 23 minutes, and looked very good in all 23 minutes. So shout out to Huck Frazier for getting us started, Kev. Dan Hidalgo. I'm just not worried about this team. I got distracted, Dan, because I remembered you're a Bills fan. I hope you like the new coach that they have, because I have some questions. But I hope you like the new coach that they have. I'm just not worried about this team. They have what they need to make the finals. No defending it, but some nights they just don't give an F. It is what it is. Yeah, they do seem like... You guys remember the movie The Town? Where John Hamm, mid-movie, makes a reference to, like, this is the not effing around crew. We now also need to stop effing around. There's been very few moments this season where the Knicks have been like, all right, this is the not effing around crew. And I think come playoff time, my hope is that they will, at full time, be the not effing around crew. Now, what's funny is last year, I didn't think they had a not effing around crew on their roster. And they got to the playoffs, and it really took Detroit to create the not effing around crew. And it turned in like a top 7. And we saw that 7, like, not effing around Knicks get to the conference finals. So my hope is that several guys that are not effing around, like the addition of Landry Shamet, what Jose Alvarado has been, obviously when Deuce McBride comes back, and you know how I feel about Mohamed Diawara, that we will have a not effing around version of the Knicks that shows up come playoff time. So thank you, Dan. And I see you in your comment in the chat. I do not like the head coaching pick, GMAC. Godspeed, my friend. The New York Jets head coach fell asleep at the combine yesterday, so it could be worse. Next up. Austin Z. What if Mo played 30 minutes a night? I'll hang up and listen. Mo, you're not Mo, you're Austin. Austin, I've had many a conversation with a crazy Knicks fan, I will say, but I'll just say excited Knicks fan about the possibilities of Mohamed Diawara. DJ did a good job with the last time, not the last time I did X's and O's with him, but two times ago that I did X's and O's with him, pointing out that there are just our moments when Diawara is out of position, when he's not in the right spot, when he's still learning, goes through some growing pains in the NBA. He's going to make rookie mistakes because he's a rookie, right? The very minimum, the bare minimum that you could say about Mohamed Diawara is that he's a rotation player. He's absolutely going to be a rotation player in this league. I think the most exciting part about Diawara, because your comment about what if he played 30 minutes a night, the most exciting part for me is what happens to him when he goes through an NBA offseason as part of a team's plan. You know, like, what is Mohamed Diawara going to look like after an offseason where he just works out with NBA players, works out with NBA coaches, NBA trainers, and we see him a year in. Like, remember when Quickly made that leap year 2 to year 3, and it was so clear, oh, this guy's not just like a nice 8th or 9th man. Like, might be a fringe starter, and at times probably should have been considered to be a starter with this team. And now he's in Toronto, and while I think some of the ceiling conversations that people are having do look delusional, I do think he has at least established himself as a starter in this league and is right now the starting point guard in a team that's going to finish with a top 6 record in the conference. So, yeah, I'm all in on hype for Diawara because I certainly feel a lot of it. So, yeah, Shout out to you, Austin. Thank you. Lido BK. Zero need for Sohan minutes. We have Diawara. Want to make it clear. No, this is not my burner, everybody. I did not write the super chat or send it in. I have, again, made my thoughts very clear on how I felt in the moment about signing Jeremy Sohan, and the many a Knicks fan that I love. Every single one of you that commented on that video and on our reaction and dismissed my dismissal of the signing of Jeremy Sohan. All of you that gave us that engagement, cha-ching. Thank you for that. I seem to have been on the right side of history through a short time. Maybe Sohan finds a role, finds a path. It's still very early. It stinks that the Knicks don't have... I'm trying to think. The Knicks don't have... like insignificant, because like the season's about data collection, right? Which is why we got Jeremy Sohan minutes. So I don't want to say that they don't have, like maybe I used to call it the LA Fitness weeks at the end of the season. If the Knicks aren't jockeying for position at the end of the year, you're gonna get some Jeremy Sohan minutes. The problem is I think they're gonna be fighting for the 2 or 3 seed for the rest of the season. So, maybe Jeremy Sohan in practice can find a role here, but as of right now, I'm very okay to just consider that a blip and continue to see Mohamed Diawara minutes. Thank you, Lido. Michael Aaron with a couple. Here's a crazy stat. According to Cleaning the Glass, when the Knicks shoot poorly, they lose. When they shoot well, they win. This is the stat. Kev, hold on. Kev, pop up here. Pop up here. So, Michael, we'll get to your second. Is this the second super chat related to that comment, Kev? Okay, so put that up there. Put that up there next. I sent that last message with 6 minutes left with the Knicks up 32, and my PTSD still had me thinking, maybe wait till garbage time to send this damn team. They shot 21 for 42 tonight from 3. That's 50%. So we got done with the post-game show on Tuesday, Kev, after the Cavaliers game, and you just made the point, like, when they don't shoot well, they lose. And I think we've all said something along the lines of that over the course of this season. They're a team that needs to shoot well to win. They're not a team like the Pistons that can have a night where they're 9 for 30 from 3, and just because of effort and toughness and whatever the Pistons have this year, they can win, right? They need to shoot well. And then you said 35% was around the number. We then pulled up StatHead together, and we're like, let's actually count this, what the Knicks record is. So going into tonight, the Knicks, when they've shot at least 35% from 3 this season, they were 31-9, which means they're now 32-9 when they shoot at least 35% from 3. Which tells you that they're 6-13 in the games where they shoot 34.9% or worse from 3 on the season. It's now informed how I watch Knicks games. Like, the rest of the season, I'm just going to be like, all right, what are they shooting from 3? Oh, they're 36%. They got a chance to win.
Oh, we're going to win.
They're 32% from 3. Oh, no chance. This is not their night, unfortunately. Thank you, Kevin. And, of course, thank you, Michael Aaron. And I recognize the PTSD. I'm just going to be completely honest with you, Kevin, with the entire Knicks Film School audience watching. I had the Cavaliers Pistons game on the entirety of the second half of the Knicks game. Once OG hit the 3 to put the Knicks up by 23, I was very comfortable with this game. I know the Cavs, that the Bucks cut it down to 15 a couple times. Obviously, I was paying attention to betting and sweating. I saw Brunson get his technical foul, but I just... If the Bucks shoot a normal percentage from 3 tonight, they lose by 40, and they lost by almost 30. Like, that's a team that went 8-2 in 2 weeks because Kevin Porter Jr. Went on a heater. I was very comfortable in the Knicks' chance to win this game, and we'll see if they can keep it going and end San Antonio's streak with the win on Sunday.
I'd like to know what the average is for the NBA for that stat in terms regarding
35%
shooting. Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's just a thing that's regular for every team, or if that's like specific to the Knicks. It's just like a thought where it's like, this specific team, how are they going to win if they're not hitting threes? Like, what are we going to be doing that's going to be able to score? Like, What, Mikal Bridges, like middies? Like, we don't really have anything else. Like Carl, maybe it's a Karl Towns like post up revolution, but other than that, I just feel as if this team's put together to, be either 5 out or 4 out or whatever and hit threes.
So, hold on. 35.
Miss Hartenstein.
I've gone to Boston. Okay. Boston this season has had 31 games in which they've shot at least 35% from three. And they are,
what, 30-1?
They are 28-3 in games they've shot 35% or more from three, which means, and that's not including tonight where they scored 148 points against the Brooklyn Nets, where they shot, they shot 65% from three tonight.
God damn.
So that's 29-3 that the Boston Celtics are, which means they are 11-17 when they don't shoot at least 35% from three.
But I would say, like, I would consider Boston another team that's probably true for as well.
So let's do Detroit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good barometer there, because I wonder how many times they've shot 35% from three. Oh, another 31 times they've shot at least 35% from three, including 1, 2, 3 times this year that they've shot at least 43% against the Knicks. Detroit has shot at least 42.5% from three, 12 times this year, 3 of which are against the Knicks. So it's very much just us. In the games they have shot, they're 29-2 when they shoot at least. Wow, so this is like a common thing. The Knicks might actually be worse.
We're not, but you know what it could be? Honestly, it could be the numbers. The number might be different. That's what I was trying to figure out in my head, like what the number would be to explain this thing, this idea. And I was just like, well, let's say 35, but what if like the number might actually be higher?
So Detroit shot 22% from three tonight and won. Now it took some crazy stuff down the stretch, but that would make them 15-12 when they shoot worse than 35% from three this season.
15-12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would make sense because it's like they don't have to rely on the three.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They have other ways to beat you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're one of the teams. Like Boston chooses to rely on the three. I don't even think they have to rely on the three. They choose to play that way. But I feel as if like the Knicks kind of need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's not as extreme as Boston, clearly, but
yeah, they're crazy.
That's gonna be a fun series if it's Knicks Boston. It's just like 100 threes a game between the two teams. You know,
go for it, man.
Whichever variance wins, whichever variance goes better. Wins.
Put Diawara on Jaylen Brown. It's a wrap.
I'm just letting you know this right now. I would want Diawara playing in a Celtics series. That's for sure.
Yeah, shut him down. New Wingstop. Shut him down.
Yeah. Do me a favor, because I see Kevin's addressed one to me. Go to Kevin Danishevsky's super chat. Sorry to jump the line, everybody, but I know a lot of you want to hear from John and not me. Kevin Danishevsky, GMAC regarding Sohan, or Sohan, however you pronounce his name. I do actually still want to see him, but only either next to OG or instead of someone I don't believe is NBA material. Huck. But only either next to OG or instead of someone I don't believe is. So you want him as like a center, or instead of Huck Porty? Look, if he's the third center, that's fine. The Knicks didn't need a third center tonight. I'm fine with that. If you want to put Sohan, so where this is, hold on, I know my mic is peaking. Where this is coming from, Kev, I believe, is that it shouldn't be Diawara or Sohan. It should be Josh Hart or Sohan. And because their skill sets could be perceived as similar. Josh Hart, I think, does so much more and is more established at this point in his league than Jeremy Sohan. They're both going to get guarded the exact same way. And Josh has made his threes way more in his career than Jeremy Sohan has.
You seen his form? That was nasty work.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I said this the other night. You can tell usually if a guy is above the break or on the side, like that line watching for how the shot is taken.
and you see right away, oh no, this is no chance of going in. Kev, I hope when Mitch sits that we also get Sohan minutes. That's the only way that I want to see Sohan minutes, unfortunately. Jonathan Macri is back from being A-Block Macri tonight. So I hope things went well over at the New York leader in sports. Don't quote me on that.
Wait, hold on, Andrew. Hold on, Andrew. This one's for you also.
This one's for me too? Sorry, GMAC was late to the recap. LFGM, baby! Yeah, Carson Benz looks great. The Mets have 700 right fielders. Freddie Peralta's starting opening day. Nolan McLean looks great.
That's how they opened the show.
Devin Williams sucks.
With a clip of Carlos Mendoza, right? Is the manager's
That is
name?
their manager.
Talking about, someone asked him, like, what's the guy's name? Freddie Peralta?
Freddie Peralta.
Why
Yes.
is he your opening day starter? And he was basically like, well, of course
good.
he's going to be our opening day
He's good.
starter.
We traded two of our best prospects for him. That's why.
Yeah. Did you figure out the betting and sweating?
Yes.
Or the best bets, rather?
Yes, we did.
What was it?
It was this. No, this isn't. This is the wrong
That's
one.
the wrong
This
one.
is the right one. These are the three bets that won.
Oh, so we did go 3 for 3.
We did go 3 for 3. I just had the wrong bets on the screen.
I
That's
knew
all.
we went 3 for 3. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Yeah, you're in the chat that we all text each other that we all went 3 for 3. So I would hope that you knew that. Yes.
I knew it was a Kuzma rebounds thing. I just forgot.
So what I said
thing was
in the chat and when I came on here was that I thought we needed Kuzma to get one more rebound. He had 4 rebounds midway through the fourth quarter. Sean Hardy then in all caps was like, no, we need no more Kyle rebounds. And was just like, no more rebounds.
So I missed that. Here's the thing. I'm so locked in on the game. You know, once I see Ariel Hukporty come in the basketball game, that's my time to focus.
Obviously.
On the screen.
Okay. So this happened before Hukporty came in the game. So you would have had time when they were pulling away from the Bucks.
When I see Landry Shamet in the basketball game, that's my time to focus.
I would advise you to focus on Mohamed Diawara, future Hall of Famer, by the way.
A lot of Diawara love tonight.
Well, there should be because the coach decided to play him over the other future Hall of Famer, Jeremy Sohan. So
Jeremy Sohan, they're gonna need to build a new wing.
Yep, the Sohan wing
in spring. It's gonna be a crooked wing.
Well, no, there'll be so many bricks that they'll be able to build it as big as I want.
Oh, goodness.
That was mean. That was mean. He's in the NBA. He deserves better. Probably should have went to a team that'll play him. Then he'll deserve that. So.
He said he wanted to come to a team with veteran leadership, right?
Yes. And I hope they lead him to his next team with gusto and with promise and yeah.
You know what would have been funny? Is if he signed with the Bucks after Giannis sent out the tweet about like I'm gonna bring people here, and then Giannis followed up, like quote tweeted the signing with like see.
There you go. Also, I thought you were a little light on Doc tonight, but I mean,
I was. What do you mean I was light on Doc?
He had one trick up his sleeve today, and it was let's not guard Josh Hart. And then
I said they had one
right.
Yeah.
And, you
want me to shit on Doc Rivers more?
I know you're never gonna do it because I have to respect the man in the chair.
Hold
but
on.
I think the Doc Rivers experiment continues to be hilarious in Milwaukee.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Because the disrespect, the apology
must be as loud as the disrespect. I would like the disrespect to be as loud as the apology today.
Doc, has any coach of the modern era, I'll just say, since we've been watching basketball, gotten shat on as much as Doc Rivers?
No, I think he's earned every bit of chat that has gone his direction. So it's a good thing Tom Thibodeau and Kevin Garnett were his defensive anchor in 2008. So that way he could win a championship and live off of that like the rest of his Celtics players do for the rest of their lives.
That was mean. So the Bucks are probably not going to go undefeated for the rest of the regular season, which means Doc Rivers will not get the 22 wins he needs to tie Pat Riley on the all-time wins list.
Yes.
Now, Doc won championship. Pat Riley, I think he has more than one. I don't see that stat listed here, but I'll assume he has more than one.
Yes, Pat Riley has several more. Yes.
I don't. Could we look up the definition of several? I think that's probably a generalization. Still, 6 most wins out of an NBA history amongst head coaches.
Who cares? Honestly, who cares? You ever heard of a guy named Craig
who cares? I'm sure Doc cares.
I hope he has a basketball in his mansion for all 600 wins. I hope so. Because if he built it out of losses, the mansion would be bigger. But
I'm gonna quick quiz and then we'll let you go. Thank you again for helping.
You are always welcome. So I have a quiz for you, real quick. You ever heard of a guy named Craig Biggio?
Yeah, I played for the Houston Rockets, Houston Astros.
Astros.
He had
20 seasons.
Billion hits.
Yes, he had 3,060 hits.
Okay.
And he hung on a couple extra years past his prime to get to those 3,060 hits.
Sure.
Played 20 years. We call that a compiler.
I
in
know,
baseball,
which
is what I would call Doc Rivers, a regular season compiler.
And now we're gonna to your compiler point.
Mm-hmm.
There have been, hold on, I get this right. Okay, there have been 8 people, individuals, humans, who have won at least 1,100 regular season NBA basketball games. They are Phil Jackson in ascending order from 8 all the way up to most wins. Phil Jackson, George Karl, Doc Rivers, Pat Riley, Jerry Sloan, Lenny Wilkens, Don Nelson, and Greg Popovich. Out of those 8, how many do you think have an above 500 winning percentage in the postseason?
Above 500 winning percentage in the postseason. Phil Jackson does.
He absolutely does. He has the best. I'm pretty sure he's the best.
Popovich does.
Popovich also does.
Pat Riley does.
Pat Riley does.
Who are the other 5?
The other 5 are Don Nelson, Lenny Wilkens, Jerry Sloan, Doc Rivers, and George Karl.
Don Nelson doesn't.
Don Nelson doesn't.
Jerry Sloan does?
He does not. He has 6 games under 500.
Man.
Wow.
So we've named 5. So Doc.
So you have Karl, Lenny Wilkens, and Doc left.
George Karl doesn't.
He does not. He has 25 games under 500 in the playoffs.
Lenny Wilkens doesn't.
He does not. He is 80 and 98 in the playoffs. So we're now at 3 and 4, and that leaves Doc.
So that you're saying Doc is over 500
by 2 games,
okay.
114 and 112.
Yeah, who cares? Honestly, who cares? Most overrated coach in NBA history.
It's despicable. It's absolutely despicable.
You and your respect for the chair. Who cares?
Yeah, Andrew didn't care about any of that.
He didn't give a flying.
Who cares?
He didn't care about
one game for your life, Jonathan Macri. One game for your life. Your team had how about this? 3 games for your life, and you're up 3-1. Do you want Doc Rivers coaching your team, or do you want Tom Thibodeau? Okay, you're not the person to ask if you'd want Tom Thibodeau.
Come on,
coaching.
man.
The fair question is, do you want Doc or do you want some of those other folks that on the obviously you're going to want Phil and Pat and Pop and but I'd take Doc over George Karl. I would take Doc over Don Nelson's an interesting one. Don Nelson's had a really weird career.
If I'm taking Doc, I allowed to have Kevin
Carlisle
Garnett
over Doc?
I would take Carlisle. I would take Spoelstra. I would take maybe 90 of the coaches that are coaching today.
See, this is where there are easily, I would say, 8 to 10 coaches in NBA history that you take over Doc, but it's not like it's not some crazy number that you take over Doc. Doc said, listen, you don't get to 114 postseason wins and almost
without a great PR team like the Ringer that lets you hire his two children and then convince the Bucks to fire their coach when they're 38-11, so that way he can go take the job and coach Giannis to a crumbling end to his prime.
Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, it's not a coincidence that all these coaches with all these regular season wins, a lot of them are under 500 in the playoffs. It is not an easy thing to do for as much as he gets shat on.
I respect that coaching is hard. I also disrespect Doc Rivers.
I bet you. There's zero chance. What would I'll buy you one of your drinks back that you owe me. Who is the coach with the highest win-loss percentage in the playoffs in NBA history? There's only one coach higher than Phil Jackson. I think I could probably give you 20 guesses and you wouldn't get it.
The highest win-loss percentage in
highest
NBA.
Winning percentage. Highest.
Is it the Thunder coach?
Percentage. No, he is currently 5th.
Someone has a higher. How many games coached?
That might give it away, but
if it's like 4 and it's like
not 4, it's 20.
And it's not the Thunder coach?
It is not an active coach.
Oh, is it Ime?
No, Ime is not even. I don't know where Ime is.
So just coached 20 games.
Ime is 17-14 in the playoffs. He's 35th in playoff winning percentage. Among the active coaches, Steve Kerr's 3rd. He's 104-48. Spectacular. Dagnall is 5th, 22-11, and then Joe Mazzulla is 33-17. He's 6th in playoff winning percentage. And then the only other guy who's retired, other than Jackson, and the guy who's 1st that I'm trying to get you to say is Paul Westhead, was 13-6. But you still have not named the number 1 guy.
And he only did 20 games.
20,
and
games.
I should know it because he's not active.
When I tell you, you're not going to get it. But when I tell you, you're going to be like, "Oh, of course."
So the chat is saying Larry Bird.
No, Larry Bird.
No. Larry Bird.
Hold on. Not a bad guess. 32-20. He is 11th on this list. A winning percentage in the playoffs of 61.5.
Whole lot of guys that take over Doc Rivers. Who's number 1?
I'm even gonna get. Hold on. I'm even gonna give you the conference and the decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
One season in the 2010s in the Eastern Conference made the finals. This should not give it away. But
one season in the 2010s in the Eastern Conference and made the final. I guess I have to talk this out.
Who was a coach that only coached an Eastern Conference team for one season, or made the playoffs in one
David
season?
Blatt.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
Blatt.
here's a great place to end this. I would take Doc Rivers over David Blatt. Okay? There you go. The most winningest coach in playoff history. I would take Doc Rivers over him. The best case I could make for the most overrated coach in NBA. I would take him over David Blatt. There you go.
They have like reverse eyes. Like
Reverse
Doc
what?
Rivers' eyes is eyes. Like Doc Rivers' eyes is that way, and David Blatt's eyes is that way.
Is that way?
They're like close together.
I'm trying to keep this to his profession. I'll let you go and comment on personal how he looks, okay, on looks and whatnot. I think, Doc, you could buy me a beer, or you could buy me a Red Bull anytime, and I'm sure you're a nice man. I've heard nothing but great things about you from The Ringer and John. I hope you never coach my basketball team.
That's so fucked up. I've heard nice things about you from The Ringer. The Ringer doesn't even say nice things about him.
Yeah, they do. They want him to work for him again. They want him to work there again. They want him to be their coworker. 2 of the Ringer employees are his children.
That's very true.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Enjoy your night, everybody. Go Knicks.
Thanks,
it's a shame that Doc's gonna get fired because we won't have more easy wins on the schedule anymore. But he'll through a pod find his way to like the Magic or something in the not too distant future.
I don't think he's.
Oh, he already coached the Magic. That's right. How did that end?
Oh, Doc's only 60. Doc's not even 65 years old. He's not done.
He's got another. He can't go back to the Magic because he blew a 3-1 lead there. What about the Clippers? Oh wait, no, he can't go back to the Clippers. He blew a 3-1 lead there.
Is he younger?
What about the Sixers? He didn't blow a 3-1 lead there.
Younger than Tibbs.
Yes.
Jesus. Anyway, sorry.
All right. I think I made my point.
You did.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, we rolling.
Let's do
9 more, John.
By the way, I don't know. I logged in under my wrong batting 1,000th tonight under my not my usual email. So you have control of the wheel. I have no control tonight. Hush Zoo, what's going on, Hush? Wow, Diawara on some of those possessions. I love that. Like this is a disconnect, and I'm not blaming you, Hush, because everybody's talking about Diawara. But I'm like, let's talk about Brunson, let's talk about OG, let's talk about Cal, let's talk about Chabot, let's talk about Hart, let's talk about mention. Oh, by the way, Diawara, nice minutes. Good to see him get in over Sohan. That's all anybody wants to talk about. Wow, Diawara on some of those possessions. Like, that's just not some dude trying to find his way in the NBA. His footwork was really impressive. I guess the reason why I'm not like stunned or anything tonight is because I've been saying this for months. Like as soon as I saw Diawara early on in the regular season, I wasn't on him in like I was intrigued in the summer league, but it's not like I saw in summer league, oh, this guy's a future NBA rotation guy. But no, I've said this for a while. Like, you know, put the excitement level of all of the other young Knicks, you know, to the extent that it exists for other young Knicks, and and add it all up and multiply it by 3. Give me Diawara's future potential over all of that. He's got real skills. He's got real skills, and the stuff, and the reason why he's been a negative on the court for the Knicks this season. I think I looked up yesterday. He was like a minus. They're like, it's like a -5 point something or whatever on off. Whatever it is, I don't care, because that's rookie mistakes. That's stuff that he's going to get past, you know, by next season. All the stuff that he could do, it's super exciting. He's a real player. The Knicks just have to keep him and make sure that he's part of their future plans, because, you know, as they will probably have to rejigger. I mean, they will absolutely have to rejigger this roster at some point in the not too distant future because of second apron stuff and whatnot. So, you know, are they? I guess the best question is, has Diawara shown them enough that they're going to count on him as a rotation guy next season? They might have to. I wouldn't blame him. Thanks, Hush. Hannibal Miles, what's going on? Diawara in year 1 is what they hoped Dadier would be in year 2. Yeah, you know, look, Dadier, add him to the list of a lot of, you know, quote unquote intriguing draft picks that just haven't panned out. I don't know. I don't know that the Knicks were ever counting on Dadier, if I'm being honest. I still think that the biggest reason why they drafted him was because he was willing to sign for what he was willing to sign for, which was 80% of the rookie scale, which is just not something that's really done. Obviously, I think they were intrigued by Dadier, but like, I don't think they were ever counting on Dadier. Now you're saying hoped. Yeah, I'm sure they had some hopes for Dadier. If they had no hopes, they wouldn't have drafted him. But, you know, I thought they saw an interesting skill set, and then it was, to me at least, pretty clear last season that like I personally, I had no hopes for Dadier coming into this year. That was me. To me, and this is what makes Diawara so interesting, to bring it back around to Mo, is like, a guy doesn't have to be good as a rookie at all. Like, most rookies suck. But you got to show me something. You know, you got to show me some flashes. And like Diawara, again, do the flashes that he has shown this year guarantee that he is going to be like a future NBA starting high-level two-way wing? No, it doesn't guarantee that at all. But he has shown me enough that I am now invested in this kid. After whatever Pacome Dadier did or did not show last year, like, I wasn't invested in him at all. Like, there was zero investment from me. So I'm invested in Diawara, as every Knicks fan should be invested in Diawara. Thanks, Animal. Danishevsky, man, it really is all Mo all the time tonight. Mo's got to stay in the rotation right now, man. Good on Brown for implicitly acknowledging his mistake and go back. The kid impacts winning. OG is a monster. Right now, yes, I agree that Mo has to stay in the rotation. I just don't see the minutes for him once Deuce is back. That said, like, I think he's going to get playoff minutes. I think he's going to get real playoff minutes. I'm not saying he's going to be like firmly in the playoff rotation. I think Mo Diawara is going to get playoff minutes. I think it's probably going to be like 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there, but I think he's going to get playoff minutes. And yeah, Brown seems to have acknowledged like, hey, it was probably not a great idea for me to throw in Sochan in the situations that I threw him in. Did it, excuse me. Did it cost them any wins? I mean, they lost the Pistons game, and the Pistons game, I actually thought Diawara was good in that game. And then the Cavs game, like, did he cost them the Cavs game? No, I don't think he cost them the Cavs game. So, look, at the end of the day, it's probably no harm, no foul. I don't mind that Mike Brown tried it out. I'm happy he pulled the plug. I hope, like, I just don't think you could throw Sochan out in the rotation in the way that you have been throwing him out there in the rotation so far, like with seemingly no plan whatsoever, and it has gone horribly. So yeah, and OG was definitely a monster tonight. Speaking of OG, we're doing our so we'll, you know what, Kev, we'll do this and the stat, and then let's put me in the mood. So OG Anunoby, defensive player of the game. We see the shot up here. OG looking thrilled as always. Karl Anthony Towns standing behind him with a look on. Oh, wow. That's a look from Cat, man. That is a look from Cat. Is he impersonating OG? I think he's got to be impersonating OG with that look. That's the only explanation. Well, look at Tyler Kolek. Cute little guy. So more importantly, I think this puts OG in the lead for the season for most defensive player of the game wins. I'm pretty sure this puts him in first, but we'll have to double check that. Anyway, congrats, OG. Good stuff.
Yeah, OG has 8.
And what does Mitch have? 7?
G-Pog. Mitch is at 7.
Mitch is at 7. Okay.
OG, this is per New York Basketball. OG 8, Mitch 7, Josh 5, Mikal 4, Deuce 3, Cat 2, Jose 2, Hukporty 2, Brunson 1, Shannon 1, JC 1, Trey 1, Kev 1, and Diawara 1.
Hold on. Ariel Hukporty has. Well, you know what? He's actually been pretty good. I shouldn't make a joke. He's been good defensively.
Yeah.
And Cat with 2 is kind of funny too. All right. Congrats, OG. All right. Let's do the stat of the night.
All right.
There's Cat. 22, which is 22 first quarter points for Jalen Brunson. It's the third highest scoring quarter of his career. And it's the 18th time any player in the NBA has had a 22-point quarter of the season. That's pretty cool stat. 9 of 10 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. And his 90% shooting from the field this is a good stat. Highest field goal percentage among any of the other 18 22-point quarters this season. So Jalen Brunson, quite literally, with the most efficient shooting quarter in terms of high volume scoring quarter of anyone in basketball this year. And then good job by him, 7 rebounds tonight, which is the third time he's done that this month. Those were some good stats, courtesy of Jonah Kaufman, our KFS intern extraordinaire. And then one more before we get going. You wanna put me in the mood, Kev? Do you have it there? There it is. Let's put Mr. Macri in the mood. Okay, what is the play that put me in the mood tonight from tonight's Knicks win over the Milwaukee Bucks? We'll get to that in a second, but did you know that there is an online cannabis company that discreetly ships federally legal THC right to your door? And they have carefully selected functional ingredients to create gummies, baked goods, and flour for whatever type of buzz you'd want. Of course, it is mood.com. You can use that code KFS for 20% off your first order. Again, go to mood.com and then use code KFS for 20% off your first order. The play that actually stood out the most to me tonight, and I know this is going to be sacrilegious because it seems like it's a Mo Diawara postgame. I'm going with the help block that Mitchell Robinson had in like the middle of the third quarter, where man, who was it that someone was playing like pretty good defense, but like the driver at like the last minute got around them, and then it was Bobby Portis, and then Bobby Portis attempted the shot, and Mitch like stepped up at the perfect moment from the opposing dunker spot and got the blood. I thought Mitch had like a quietly really excellent defensive game, and the reason why that play put me in the mood was because among the things that are going to be determining factors for the season or for this team for the rest of the season is what is the ceiling defensively that Mitchell Robinson can reach? Because I think you can argue OG Anunoby is the Knicks' most important defender because they need him to be great for their defense to be good enough to beat good teams. I would say that Mitchell Robinson might still be the single defender who can most impact a game, maybe even more than OG. But it's tough. I mean, it's 1A and 1B, which is why they're 1A and 1B in the defensive player of the game standing. So, yeah. Anyway, shout out to mood.com. Again, use that code KFS. Okay, let's finish up. Thanks, everybody, for chilling with us on a Friday, by the way. Hush. Oh, and I almost forgot. I still have to select the chat of the night. Let's get a good candidate here. What I love about Cap, and this is from Hush Zoo, is he really talks back to the critics with games like this. Never outspoken, but his game will say 1,000 words. I love it. And then Diawara over Sohan. There's an interesting thing, I think, that happens, and this is not exclusive to Knicks and the Knicks fan base. This is, I think, every fan base, where every fan base has the chosen one. Oftentimes, it is the team's best player, but I don't think it's always the team's best player. And then that player will have a bad game or have a rough stretch or have maybe a habit that gets under people's skin or that is, detrimental or whatever the case may be. And then there's this like back and forth between, well, we got to criticize Brunson because we criticize everybody else. Why is Brunson above criticism? And other people then push back and say, well, this team has all these issues and we're sitting here and we're giving Jalen Brunson shit. Like, what are we doing? Why are we wasting our time with this? And then the pushback to that is like, well, what, we're like Jalen Brunson's untouchable. Like, we can't criticize him. And it just makes for a very tiring conversation. Here's where I'm at with Jalen Brunson. I am so, with this team in particular, my personal compass as far as like this thing or these things go in the solutions category and these other things go in the problems category or the issues category. I don't call it problems, but like things to, keep an eye on. And I say my internal compass is so off because if you watch this team for long enough, like, there are very few things that you feel really, really, really strongly about. Like, oh, this definitely goes in the solutions column. And there's just never a doubt in my mind that Jalen Brunson, whatever the Knicks are trying to do, whatever kind of championship roster they're trying to build, however they're trying to play this season, anything, there's just never a question in my mind that Jalen Brunson's part of the solution. Based on what he's about, based on how he responds to bad games, as Hush is talking about, based on just everything about him, based on his skill set, how good he is. Just there's never a question in my mind that he's part of the solution, which is why it's not that he's above criticism. No one's above criticism. Nikola Jokic isn't above criticism. But I'm always going to, have a tougher time going in on him as hard as I do, pretty much everybody else. So good comment there, Hush. Thank you. Danishevsky with another one. This Bucks team, top 5 comedy in the NBA with Cam, Kuzma, and Sims. Why you gotta do our boy Jericho Sims like that? If anything, you should put what's his face? Kevin Porter Jr. in there. I think Kevin Porter, not that Kevin Porter Jr. is like a comedy act, but like, you know, he's like Cam Thomas light in that he's never met a shot he doesn't like. Did have 10 assists tonight. He has been racking up assists, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but like he takes some pretty tough shots. 4-12 from the field tonight. I would throw Bobby Portis in there over Sims. I would throw Thanasis in there over Sims. But yes, to your point, Kevin, the Bucks are definitely a top 5 comedy team in the NBA. 100%. I am AK Legend. What's going on, man? I loved this game. Out of curiosity, though, what do you believe are the reasons there are so many issues offensively when going up against a team like Detroit, other than switch defenses? Let's go Knicks. Great question. Great comment. Appreciate it. You say other than switch defenses. I think that's the biggest thing. I think just physicality. You know, this Bucks team, like, to say that, I mean, I'm just gonna just go down the list. Kuzma, Turner, Porter Jr., AJ Green, Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins actually has a little bit of shit to him as a defender, but still. You know, Ousmane Dieng played 12 minutes tonight. My God, Cam Thomas. You know, like, this is your classic. Like, we're 26-30 now, 32. It's almost March. Like, we're not trying to get super physical tonight. Like, we'll make you earn it. Like, we'll try to be in the right spots, ideally, but we're not, you know, and that's the thing is, like, if you get a defense like that against the Knicks, they are like, they're gonna put up 120, 130 points. It is almost inevitable. But if you get a team, and it doesn't even need to necessarily be a team of like super gifted defenders, like Cleveland, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, they're not like world beater defenders, but like there are enough guys on that Cleveland roster that can get into you a little bit on the defensive end that it just makes you uncomfortable on every possession. And it means Jalen has to work harder. It means the ball isn't flying around as much. And it means that there's more pressure, I think, on your shooters. Now, the one thing that I think a lot of people have pointed out in terms of shooting variance is like they have happened to have shot very poorly in some of these games. So against Cleveland, they shot 27% from 3. Against Detroit, they shot 23% from 3. In the Indiana game, they shot 30% from 3. Now, Indiana, I don't know that I put them in the same category, but like Nembhard, Nesmith, Siakam, like all of these guys have a little bit of shit to them defensively. TJ McConnell, you know. So like the previous Detroit game, they shot 24% from 3. Like, I guess it's hard for me to be like, oh, it's a coincidence that they're shooting like dog shit in all these games against these defenses that actually make you earn it. You know, like, you know, and yet, as I say that, I don't know. I'll stand by what I said. I do think that there is some shooting variance that goes into this stuff, but I don't look. And here's the other thing. I think it makes it tougher to make threes when you're going up against that sort of a defense, but it's certainly not impossible. And we have seen this Knicks team get hot from deep against good NBA defenses this season. It can be done. They have done it. You know, I don't think that they have done it often enough. And then the last thing I'll say, and this is kind of going to bring the whole point home. It's not that the Knicks are like totally dependent on 3-point shooting, but I do think that they kind of have become a little bit of a live by the three, die by the three team. And I just pulled it up right now. Like when they shoot under 31% from three, they are 1-11 this year. The one win was the 2-point win in Dallas that was like a nail biter over a dog shit Mavs team. That's the only win that they have this year where they have shot below 31% from deep. Meanwhile, when they shoot, I actually wrote this down. I actually didn't even give this. I meant to give this stat on the sports line. I forgot. They're 12-0 when they shoot 45% or more from three. That's not surprising. 19-5 when they shoot over 40%. That's actually a little low. You'd hope that they would actually be better than 19-5 when they shoot above 40% from three, but it's okay. But when they don't hit any threes, it's just like it's become really hard for them to win games. And that's a little worrisome because they're a really good three-point shooting team. They're not a great three-point shooting team. I want to say, like, if I had to guess right now, what are they ranking three-point shooting in the league? Probably, I guess 9th. Let's see. 4th. Okay, I was wrong. They're 4th. That's good. They're really good. They're a really good three-point shooting team. But 37.6%. The Nuggets are first at 39.3. I don't know if there is a great three-point shooting team in the league this year, to be honest. In any case, I'm going off on a tangent here. But, like, I think that... Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Thanks, IMAK. Good comment. Pundertaker, what's going on, man? Anyone see the size of Hart's finger wrap? I did not. It was huge tonight. That's what somebody said. The Knicks got to make sure he keeps that thing away from JB's backside, or else he might kill the guy. Pundertaker, congratulations. You are our first official entrant for Chat of the Night. I have nothing else to say about that, but I did not notice the size of Hart's finger wrap. I will keep an eye out for it. I hope Jalen Brunson is keeping an even keener eye out for it. Rowan B, what's going on, Rowan? Hey, John. Catch 22. McCall never misses a game, so people never get to appreciate his absence. The specific Knicks team cannot do anything of note without him. It's funny. I don't know. I guess maybe you saw this in the Substack chat. Shout out to all my Substackers out there, because I was texting with my guy Jonas Plout before, and he made this exact point that I guess someone was making this point, which is that we have nothing to grade it against because he never misses games. I don't know if that's quite fair, and I'm sure somebody else brought this up, but, like, he's not on the court for 48 minutes of every game, even if Tibbs tried to play him 48 minutes a night often. So, like, we do get to see what it is without him on the court. The on-off numbers with him this year are okay. They're better with him on the court than off the court. There are other advanced stats that like Macri Bridges a lot more than just on-off data. I agree with you that this team cannot do anything of note without him. I completely agree with that. There is no universe where, like, Macri Bridges, like he needs to play 30 minutes a night for them, and he needs to play well for 30 minutes a night. I completely agree with that. I'm not sure I'm moved that, like, well, we don't know what the team would be like without him, so we really have to appreciate him. I do appreciate him, and I'd like to think that I have been, in terms of the McCall discussion, I've been more pro McCall. Like, I've been pretty consistent all year long that, like, I still buy him as a guy who's, like, part of the solution. Like, I think highly of him as a player. And yet there are things about him and the things that he does, the physicality stuff and just moments where you just don't even really sense him in a game at all, where, to me, that stuff and the on-ball defense, which again is just I need it to be like 10-15% better. It leaves me wanting a little bit more. That's all. And I think it's okay to appreciate him for what he is and say that like he's part of the solution and say like he does all these things that we maybe we don't notice on initial watch, and also say that like all things being equal, he should probably give him a little bit more. But is what it is. Thanks, Rome. And then Joseph Zakola, is it worth noting that 9 out of our 10 rotation players with Deuce are legit 3-point shooters? This team's ceiling is so high, it's crazy. I hope we continually remind ourselves of what we can do. Look, I've pushed back against the Hart stuff more than anyone. And I don't know that we can sit here and say, even though he is shooting, I think he's still shooting above 40% from 3, even after tonight going whatever he went. Where did Hart go? 2 of 7 from deep. He's right there at 40%. I don't know that given how teams guard him, it's not that he's like an illegitimate 3-point shooter, but when you phrase it like that, Joseph, it's more for me like, if a team has 9 out of 10 rotation players where like no defense feels comfortable leaving them open from deep, that to me is very meaningful. With the Knicks, like again, if Muhammad Diawara ever actually stuck around in the rotation, like teams are going to let him shoot. Teams are going to let Josh Hart shoot. They're going to be happy if Josh Hart shoots. Mitch, obviously he's the 1 out of 10. So, and the other thing is like Bridges, OG, those guys are just not as threatening above the break. I mean, the numbers say very clearly OG he's not in the same universe above the break this year as he is from the corners. So like, there's a discrepancy there, and Towns hasn't kind of struck, I think, the same level of fear in people, as he maybe has in years past. So that's why I think you're actually making me realize why I said before that I think the Knicks are a very good 3-point shooting team, not a great 3-point shooting team. Now that I'm talking it out. But listen, it's fine that they're very good. And they are certainly a good enough 3-point shooting team to be the best, or one of the 2 or 3 best offenses in the league. And that's enough. That's enough for them. That should be enough. We'll see if it is. Thanks, Joseph. And then Chinese Weed, I think I pronounced that right. Eye test says the Knicks drive without the intent of going for a layup. Paint touch only in every sense of the word. They'll pass up a layup for a 3, and if they aren't going in, then they die by the 3. Well, you just said everything that I said a little. Well, you put a finer point on it. It's a good point. Now that I think about it, there are not so. Let me catch myself. I was about to say that there aren't. So here's the thing: there are Knicks that drive with the intent of scoring at the rim. OG, absolutely, when he drives, his intent is to score at the rim. Karl Anthony Towns, when he drives, his intent is to score at the rim. Josh Hart, when he has a runway, but he doesn't really. And Josh Hart's very good at the rim too. So I actually don't. I don't know that I agree with you in spirit because it does not feel like the Knicks are a threat to score enough when they drive. I think that's the more accurate way of putting it, that the Knicks as a driving team are not as much of a threat to score as you would think for a team that drives as often as they do. And speaking of that, again, I might look silly. I would bet anything that they are certainly in the top 10 in drives per game. I would think that they're pretty close to the top 5 in drives per game, but then again, their pace is so low, so maybe not. NBA team drives per game. Let's go with top 10. Drives per game, the Knicks are, I think they might be 10th. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they average 49.2 drives per game. So just outside the top 10. I actually think that's better than it seems because their pace is so low. So that's why I think that number is a little on the lower side. Their field goal attempts on drives So this actually goes against your point. Even though they are 11th in drives per game, they rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in field goal attempts attempted on drives. Now, here's the real key. What do they shoot on field goal attempts on drives? This is not as good. They are middle of the pack. So I'll try to, I don't know why they don't have the numbers sorting these. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th. So that's not great considering as an effective field goal percentage team, the Knicks are top 10, and yet on field goal percentage on drives, only 16th. And I know the Brunson number in terms of his field goal percentage on drives is much higher than that. So Brunson is propping this number up considerably. And then since we're here, I might as well just keep looking. In terms of pass percentage on drive, they're also middle of the pack. Assist percentage on drives, actually pretty low, 6 from the bottom. Interesting. So I don't know what you do with those stats. I agree with you in spirit. They are not enough of a threat to score when they drive. But I don't think it's for lack of shooting. Thanks, man. Okay, that's it. Kev, let's hand out our chat of the night to Pundertaker because he made a joke about Josh Hart sticking his finger up Jalen Brunson's butt, which is always great. Congratulations, Pundertaker. You are the proud recipient of $25 in FANCASH from Fanatics Sportsbook. All you have to do is shoot an email over to me at Knicks Film School at gmail.com. Let me know that you are the great Pundertaker, and we'll get you $25 in FANCASH. Shout out to you. Okay. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Knicks Film School Postgame Show presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Don't forget to help us out in all the ways that you help out your favorite pods and shows by subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us wherever you get your pods, 5-star rating or review. Got some great Patreon stuff, Substack. I will bang out a newsletter right now. Hopefully it doesn't keep me up too much past 1 a.m. I think I should be able to write tonight's newsletter pretty expeditiously. And that's it. I will see everybody on Sunday after the Spurs game. I'm actually excited for that game. Even if San Antonio is rolling, I am looking forward to the Knicks coming out and playing a good game. Hopefully not famous last words, but we'll see. All right. Catch everybody later. Thanks to Kev. Thanks to Andrew. See you. Peace out.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See the Fanatics Sportsbook app.